Welcome to March or Die Podcast. I am the Stress Master.
And I am a very excited 49ers fan, also known as the Tumor. Again, as I say every week, not because I'm malignant, but simply because I marched spot B9.
And I'm the Stress Master because I stress out a lot. I still do.
He does.
But just not at a 20 anymore. I'm more like about an 8 or 7 these days.
Yeah.
But
how'd that happen?
Oh my gosh, what happened there? The 49ers.
I have no idea. Hey, I was thinking, I watch a lot of YouTube, right? And you get all these, YouTube videos that are sponsored videos by somebody, right? Mm-hmm. And the one that I keep seeing all the time is BetterHelp.
Yeah, right? A lot of that, huh?
Today's video is sponsored by BetterHelp. And by the way, if anybody's from BetterHelp is watching, you're more than welcome to sponsor us. That's cool.
Yeah.
But if they were a sponsor, it'd be a perfect sponsor because that's who the Green Bay Packers fans are going to need after tonight's demolishing. That they think they've got a chance, and they don't. They don't.
They don't have a chance.
I got news for you, Green Bay. The 49ers defense ain't no Dallas. That's all I'm going to say about it.
Exactly. And I think, are we supposed to watch that game? I think we might be watching that game tonight. We'll see. Because my wife's a diehard 49ers fan. Her sisters are even more diehard. I mean, when they lost the Super Bowl, oh my gosh, it was like crushing.
Gold-blooded me. Gold-blooded.
All right, so we got some stuff to get to, and I wanted to share this. I actually found this right before we started this podcast, and I think it's freaking hilarious, but let's get to it. So I literally just saw this right before we got on the podcast, and it's on the Drum Corps Coffee Shop. I will put the link in the description, of course. Let me turn this off here so we don't get notified. You guys don't hear all my notifications. Give me 1 second. Okay. But I literally have tried not to watch this, so we're going to see what this is. Here we go.
Corps have so many staff members. If you look at the staff page for Blue Devils, it's huge. Some of these job titles don't even make any sense. What is a second assistant valve oil technician? And then a week ago, SCV posted an opening for a Nintendo Switch Joy-Con calibration intern. Why are these things necessary for a drum corps to function? Meanwhile, you go to the Bluecoats website and they appear to be cutting back on staff as much as possible.
Makes sense. I mean, the needs of modern drum corps is different than when you and I marched. And now, the news. So, in the news today, the Green Bay Packers are visiting the San Francisco 49ers. Oh, wait. Oh, you want to talk about drum corps news? Okay, fine. Fair enough.
Yeah, let's talk about drum corps.
There's not a lot to talk about, if I'm being brutally honest with you. We're in that weird part of the year where one week we'll have a load of stuff to talk about, and the next week we won't have any. For those that do hang around in the drum corps universe part of Reddit, there has been some stuff that dropped about Vanguard. Look, I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. You guys can read it and make your own decisions on it. But essentially, from what I gathered looking at this, essentially was that the finances of the Vanguard have been audited by an independent auditor. That independent auditor has come in and said, yes, you filed the bits that you need to file to make you compliant with who you need to be compliant with. However, we can't figure out where the money is, whether everything you're telling is the complete truth or a pile of codswallop. We just don't know. So, it seems to me that the new leadership of Vanguard seems to be trying to their level best to get things in order. Russ, the new corps director there, has been open and honest with the community. That's all we can ask for, and all we can do at this point is hope and trust that they've got their house in order. So that's all. Yeah,
I tried to read through this gobbledygook, and I was just like, okay, I have no clue what the heck they're talking about. Exactly. Numbers and stuff. But once again, this was posted by somebody on Reddit. We don't know its validity. I don't know. Who knows?
My concern about this stuff is that I actually know who is posting it, and I'm not going to name names here, but it's somebody I know that is an alumni of the organization that has an axe to grind. So take that for what you will.
Okay, so this is me. It's later in the day after we've recorded the podcast. I wanted to make sure that we are being fair and honest in what we're reporting on this channel. This was posted later in the day. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. It's not getting much bigger. Here we go. So this was posted regarding the Vanguard's standing, and this says they're in good standing. So we definitely want to make sure we report this. This is also going to be in the description down below. Let me get rid of this thing here. We want to make sure we're being, like I said, we're being fair in our reporting. So we're just reporting on what we're seeing. That's on Reddit or somewhere else like that. This was also posted on Reddit as well, but I will put a link to the article, to this document down below. So I don't know who's posting what. We just want to make sure we're reporting everything. So now let's go back to the news.
So in other news, Drum Corps World has released their January 2024 edition. I'm not sure why the June 2019 edition is up.
Because I think when I searched for it, it pulled that up here. All right, here we go. January 2024.
Yeah, but basically, I just wanted to give a congratulations to Steve Vickers and the team over there. On their first page, there's always the editor's comments from Steve, and this edition of Drum Corps World is the culmination of 52 continuous years of every single month an edition of Drum Corps World coming out, whether that be in print, online, tabloid, whatever the case may be. 52 years. This is a man who has forgotten more about drum corps than most of us could ever hope to learn. I do believe that Steve is stepping away, and Drum Corps World, I have no doubt, will continue. If it's in this same format, I'm not sure. But Steve is one of the good guys in the activity. So in 2017, I wasn't able to march with Kids Grove due to an injury. And Steve reached out to me, and I actually covered the European drum corps scene for Drum Corps World. Just genuinely one of the nicest guys you could ever hope to meet. So, congratulations to those at Drum Corps World. I remember just going down the I remember time machine that you and I like to do from time to time. It was such a big deal back in our day, Drum Corps World, wasn't it? It was an event. I mean, I think back then it came out every week, didn't it? Or at least did during tour.
It did, yeah. They would drop them, and you could get them at different souvenir booths and stuff like that.
At the Suvi booths, yeah. And this was a big deal. I mean, this was our internet back in the day. I mean, this is how we found out who was doing what, who was scoring what, and all that stuff. And it was an event. Somebody would go to the Suvi booth and buy that edition of Drum Corps World, and by the next day, that thing was just completely ragtagged because it had been passed around the bus to so many people over the night.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to show you something. Hold on. Yeah, I was looking. I actually was gifted some Drum Corps Worlds from 1991 and 1992. I can't find them right now. If I would have known we were doing the segment, I would have looked.
I remember that it used to be such an exciting thing, especially when you get that first one after we'd done our first shows, and to be able to read what people thought about our show.
Well, you could see the scores from the East Coast, because we were on the West Coast and we didn't have access to scores. We didn't have the internet.
Yeah. And sometimes it was cool, hearing what people thought about your show. But then sometimes you have 1990, and people say, "Hey, the Freelancers opener was great. The rest of the show was crap." But hey, what can you do?
Exactly. All right. Well, Phantom Regiment has Exogenesis T-shirts and sweatshirts and stuff like that. This new image they created here, it looks really, really cool. You can go to the fan shop. I will put this in the description below. Let me make sure I copy this so I don't forget it. Make sure you support these organizations because it's very, very crucial, right? So,
a question I've got, because maybe I'm a little bit taking a step back from the actual day-to-day touring of DCI corps, but are core merch still a big deal to the members? I remember back in our day, it was we used to love it when you were coming up to a show with somebody for the first time because you could go visit their Subi booth and see what you could get there. Does that still happen, or is it just internet time and we just buy stuff?
No, I think it's
now?
still a big deal. Because when I went to the Mandarins preview show, they had their Subi booth there. That place was packed.
Was it?
Everybody wanted the core shirt. Yeah.
Yeah, and every year there was at least one core that just had something that was just the must-have item that year. Strangely enough, it was almost always the Velvet Knights for some reason back in our day.
They used to sell out of their merch, man.
Yeah, it was the Zubas pants one year, and then of course Blue Devils. It was the jazz button.
The jazz shirt, yeah.
You didn't march. How could you tell if somebody marched in a West Coast drum corps without them telling you just by what they'd wear that shirt? So
exactly.
So again, I'm scraping the bottom of the barrel here for news, but something that did catch my eye in this month's edition of Drum Corps World is that Seattle Cascades, again, I'll keep talking good about this corps because they seem to be doing things the right way. Seattle Cascades have announced a strategic partnership with the Boise Gems. The Boise Gems are a new organization, which I believe is in Sound Sport, I think, this year. I don't think they're an open class just yet. I think they're Sound Sport. But the intention of this new venture is to expand the reach of the Boise Gems to more students in the Pacific Northwest. So again, yeah, so we wish the very best of these finest organizations.
Okay, so this last bit of news is support this channel. Support this channel. There's two ways you can support this channel. One is by going to
I know one. I know.
Okay, well, what's one? Okay.
Me.
Yeah, go ahead.
Press the like
guy
button.
in the 49ers hands. There you go. Let's press the like button.
Press the like button. Press the subscribe button.
That's 2.
If you like what we do, you can share it as well.
That's 3.
And if you like what we do, tell us about it. And if you think we're a couple of complete dorks, tell us about it.
Yeah, if we're knobheads, just go ahead and say so. We don't care.
Oh, good use of a British term. Thank you very much, knobhead.
But the fifth way
I'm going to teach you some good British insults, you know.
Okay, well, we will add those to part of the podcast. We can do a British insult.
If I may, real quick. In fact, what I'll do is I'll do a British insult of the day. How does that start? British insult of the week. So, and how to use it in a sentence. But no, and another thing. Look, I put some posts on Drum Corps Planet and on the Drum Corps Coffee Shop advertising the podcast. I said it there. I'll say it here. Look, you know, Justin and I really enjoy doing this podcast, and we will continue to do it even if like 5 people watch the damn thing. Okay, but truth be told, we'd actually kind of like it to blow up a little bit, you know. Because if we blow it up a bit, then maybe we can get some more people to come on it, some movers and shakers in the activity, and so on and so forth. So, genuinely speaking, the like button, it costs you absolutely nothing. It's a really big deal. By pressing that and pressing subscribe, YouTube lets you know when we put new content up here. As the season comes around, as WGI comes around, we're going to do a lot more stuff, some midweek stuff. Maybe I'm going to do stuff on my own. Justin's going to do some stuff on his own. So, please, I'm begging you. At this point, I am begging you. Just hit the like and subscribe button, please. All right. Anyway, Justin, go ahead.
Do it now. All right. So you have 2 other ways you can support. One is by going to join, and then that will allow you to join the membership. So the membership, we have the rookie, the veteran, and the super vet. So the rookie, you're going to get access to loyalty badges next to your name. And then you're also going to get early access. Yes, early access to new videos. With the veteran level, you get the same perks as the rookie level. Plus, you get member shout-outs and also members-only live streams. So as soon as we start getting some veterans, we're going to start doing some members-only live streams. That way we can have one-on-one conversations with you. You can share your opinions. We can share our opinions. We can talk about different things. And we'll schedule that once we start getting members in that category there. And then Super Vets, same perks as the other 2. Plus, we're going to be connecting with you directly on social media. We already have social media on Facebook. I used to have Twitter, but I'm really not a fan of Twitter anymore after its takeover. But Facebook, we have a March or Die Facebook page. That's also going to be in the description. Yeah, X. Yeah, X excretion. And then also exclusive members only videos. So as soon as we start having people in the Super Vet category, we're actually going to create special videos just for you that you're not going to be able to see on this channel unless you're a member. So make sure you
and
do
where
that.
where does the money go? Well, things like editing software it's not free. So, look, we ain't getting rich off of this thing. You just help and contribute to the channel and making the channel better.
Yep. The other thing is if you go to the March or Die merch store, and you can see it's a professional store. Look how professional this store is. Look at this thing. You can
There's
search
no AI whatsoever there.
Yeah, you can search by different categories: organic products, kids and babies, accessories, stickers. We even have stickers. Look at that. But let's go to t-shirts, for example, and we have a new design. Look at this brand new design that I just put up. And then we also have the traditional March or Die logo. Plus, this is my favorite one right here is the March or Die vertical. That's my favorite. We also have Higher, Faster, Louder. Who's this guy right here? Who's that dude? I think that's me. And that's the Freelancer drumline right there. And then...
Do you know the thing is, though, Justin? I marched for 6 years of DCI. Do you know how many pictures I had of me?
What, 2?
In 6 years. 2.
2? Yeah.
Literally 2.
I literally have 1. And that's the one that you guys see there. That's it. I am on the video, though, briefly. But
well, that's the best bit. My age out year, I was a soloist. I didn't even get on the bloody video as a solo.
yeah, that sucks. Oh, look at that color. That's kind of cool color.
In fact, I think while my solo was going on, they showed bloody Scott Stewart. Again, Scott Stewart. Every time I turn around, there's Scott Stewart in my life. By the way, Scott, you're welcome to jump on here anytime you want, man. I think you'd have some good content out here.
Yeah, but, I've tried to have him on a couple times, and he's just super busy on the weekends. So,
but no, there I am playing my solo, and they're showing Scott Stewart. You're going... warming up his chops and all that stuff. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The one time I was on video was 89 and I was ticking. So do you remember we had that stupid horn visual they threw up at the end of the opener where we did the flick?
Yes, where we had to do the push, where we grabbed the back of it and went like that. Yeah.
I think we put it in like quarterfinals. Yeah, I ticked, and of course that was the one time the camera was on me close up at finals. So,
exactly. But look, you can get a coffee mug, you can get sweatshirts, all this. This is a cool color too. Look at that color. Look at this one. Oh, I love the kangaroo pouch. And now and there's different designs that like different logos and stuff that you can get with that too. So.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'll have one of them because you keep telling me I've not told you what I want. So I'll have one of them in that burgundy color in a 2XL. I live in the UK. It's always cold and rainy here.
Now, do you want this logo or do you want something different?
I'll let you choose.
Okay.
You choose what'll make me the most beautiful.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, anyway, so thank you guys for joining us on this adventure, and this will definitely help us with the channel because, believe it or not, like Kanan said, we do this for free. Essentially, I do it for free. I've been doing this for 4 years now. This is my second channel. This is 4 years I've been doing this, almost 5. But we really appreciate it. Now, my goal is to try to get out to finals. I don't know if I'm going to make it this year. I just don't think financially I'm going to be able to do it. So probably the following year, maybe both of us can go out there and we can do some great shows from out in DCI finals. But this will help. This will help get us there, help get us to finals. So
absolutely.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing.
So, and finally wrapping up the news. As I said, it's a slow time of year, but a lot of the corps did have camps last week. Obviously, Phantom and Colts and Reading Buccaneers didn't due to the weather. But the numbers that I'm generally hearing out of all the corps are very, very good. I know that Spirit had somewhere around 200 members or 200 prospective members at their camp. Vanguard had very, very good numbers. Of course, Vanguard's always going to have good numbers. They do still have that all-star staff there. Michael Gaines and the Rennicks and so on and so forth. So you're always going to get some good numbers there. And,
I think Genesis also had really good numbers too. Yeah, they had. I think I saw a video last night. Genesis, their drum line, completely they had like a triple drum line. They were huge. So good for them.
I also heard Jersey Surf is doing quite well as well, which that's probably the big core I'm pulling for, because I really enjoyed Jersey Surf's show last year, and it actually just my YouTube algorithm chucked me the Jersey Surf Bridgemania show today.
Oh wow!
And that was such a great show. If you haven't watched it, seriously, you should watch it. It was just a really, really fun show. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully next week we have some news or some controversy or something comes up that I can bitch and moan about. So before I go, do you want to hear a trumpet joke?
Okay, go for it.
I'm going to make this a new thing. How many trumpet players does it take to change a light bulb? There's 2 possible answers, by the way.
Gee, I don't know.
So how many trumpet players does it take to change a light bulb? It only takes 1. He just holds it in place while the world revolves around him.
Wow.
Do you want to hear the alternative answer to that?
Sure, let's hear it.
Hey, Justin, how many trumpet players does it take to change a light bulb?
Gee, Kanan, I don't know.
5. 1 to change the light bulb, and 4 to say how much better they could have done it. Hey, Scott Stewart, do you want to join us sometime?
That's so true, though. That's so true. Okay, so
next week I'm picking on snare drummers.
So what we have next is the results of the versus battle. So thank you all so much for participating.
I'm very confident.
We had about 50 to 60 votes on each category, so it was pretty evenly split. So what we're going to do is the winning show, we're going to watch it from beginning to end. Alright, so this is the epic battle. You probably just heard the battle music right before this segment here. But who should have won? Blue Devils versus Bluecoats 2014.
Blue Devils.
So after an extensive...
ear-ended segment.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll see. Because the results are going to be shocking and surprising to you, my friend. I think you're in for a world of shock and surprise. So here we go.
Must be the same. But if anybody voted for Bluecoats, then they must be the same people that comment on Brock Purdy being a system quarterback. They just don't watch the video.
Yeah, well, we're going to see here. Okay, so these are our categories: brass, color guard, percussion, cleanliness, and cool moment. So, like I said, we had about 50 to 60 people vote. Next time, let's get about 1,000 people voting. That'd be great. So all 1,782 of you who watch these videos, you can vote too. But of course, Blue Devils won brass, right? And I'll be honest, I kind of agree to that. I think Bluecoats they did sound good, but like you said, they just weren't as pristine as the Blue Devils brass. The Blue Devils brass were very pristine, very precise, very accurate, very technically great, but they sounded good too, so got to give it to them on that. Okay, so the color guard, this one really, we'll see if it's a surprise to you. You ready for this one?
Go on.
You ready?
No surprise whatsoever to me. That was a color guard show.
I know, it was a color guard show.
That show was written for the color guard. There's no way they couldn't have won that.
Yeah, they were really good. I mean, and part of my job was to defend the Bluecoats, and they had a good show. Don't get me wrong, and I really liked what the color guard did, but I agree that the color guard.
And you know what? Looking at the next caption, my job was to make the case for the Blue Devils. But actually, I think I won't be shocked and I won't disagree if Bluecoats won percussion.
Yeah. So here we go. This is a shock. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Boom.
Wow.
Yeah.
I am.
And the votes were 80%, 20%.
I mean, the thing is, though, that Bluecoats percussion, especially the battery show, was just so aggressive, Yeah,
it was very aggressive. And honestly...
Whereas I think the Blue Devils were possibly a bit more musical, if that makes any sense.
They were. They were more in the book.
Yeah.
They were playing with the book, yeah.
And look, I know there wasn't a caption for this as well, but can we just stop for a second and say how good both corps looked?
Yeah, they looked really good. Yeah, the productions were crazy.
But I mean, how cool were just the uniforms? How cool did they look? That Bluecoats uniform. And that's the traditional. I loved that uniform.
And that's going back to the traditional one, the traditional jacket.
That is, I pride myself on not being a dinosaur. Okay? But the one thing I do wish was that we did go back to slightly more traditional looks. You can have a traditional look and still have all the performance fabrics and all that stuff. And I look at that show and I look at Vanguard of that time as well. And they just all looked so good.
Yeah.
So that's my dino moment.
Okay, so this one really shocked me, like, to the core. Not really. Not really. Now, having said that, though, I think kind of what and this has been going on since like 2014-ish, right? Blue Devils, they do have some intricate hard stuff, but they don't have as much hard stuff in their show as like the Bluecoats do. The Bluecoats have a lot more hard stuff, so it makes it harder to clean it. And I think Blue Devils have kind of mastered and I don't mean like it's not hard, but I mean they don't have as many hard things in their show. Like Bluecoats, they have like 50 hard things, and they have to try to clean 50 hard things, whereas Blue Devils does 20 hard things, and they clean it really, really well, and then they integrate in stuff in between. So I may have mentioned in the past, Kids Grove Scouts, the corps I marched with in the UK, we were part of System Blue, okay? And part of the agreement that we got with System Blue was, obviously we played System Blue instruments. The tubas were horrible, by the way. But outside of that, though, our show design, the Blue Devils guys had a lot of input into our show design. And then also we got Blue Devils staff members would come over and work with us. So we would get John Meehan, we would get TJ Doucette, we would get guys from percussion and visual to come over and work with us. So I've had a little bit of a taste of the Blue Devils way, so to speak, and I think that the secret sauce with the Blue Devils is in show design, okay? And that's, as you nailed one thing, they don't put as many super technical bits into the show because they don't need to. They put the super technical bits into the show at the time that is right for the show, not just for the sake of putting super technical bits in, okay? And they don't write something that can't be cleaned. Yeah,
they make it just technical enough, and so, like, for instance, you look at that trumpet section at the beginning of the Blue Devils show. That is possibly the cleanest trumpet section I've ever heard in my life. And I said it then, and I'll say it today. I don't give a shit that they were standing still. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's still
okay.
Cool.
The simple fact is, and somebody, in fact, it was our friend Scott Stewart, commented in the comments section of the video that even if you got 35, because it was about 35 trumpets in that section, because they had the mellophones on trumpet as well, is that even if you had 35 seasoned professional players, they couldn't have played that on the move either. So what have we done is we've decided that we're going to do something really hard, and instead of trying to make it even harder, we've settled for really hard, and that really hard came off really impressive. So where Blue Devils are absolute geniuses in is show design.
Yep, agreed. Okay, so I'm gonna have to hide myself for this last one because, okay, in the last caption, cool moment. The Bluecoats took that. They took that handily, by the way, too. So, which they should have, because I mean, it was a really great ending to the show.
I tried my best, but I knew that there was no way that I was gonna beat out the pitch bend. It was cool. It was cool. There's no two ways about it. But what the pitch bend did was it led into the 2015 show, which was Kinetic Noise, and I think that pitch bend let Bluecoats go, hold on a second, we can experiment with electronics here, and I think that some of like the live looping that they did in the next year was just unreal good, and a lot of that has carried on into the productions that we're seeing now in 2023 and 2024. One of the raps of Bluecoats, I suppose, is they do use a lot of electronics, and that is, but you know what? That's just part of their identity.
Yeah, and it's allowed them to do.
It's in their DNA. It's their style now.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing though, I think last year's show, it just annoyed me with that voiceover. Just annoyed the crap out of me when they would just keep repeating the same thing over the Garden of Love or whatever the heck that thing was. The guy just kept repeating over and over and over and over. I was just like, come on, dudes.
The funny thing is I'm not generally that bothered by narration. I'm over it. I think that when we first started with narration in shows, sometimes it was a little bit wacky. Dance Party of the Century. So I just complimented Blue Devils on all their show design, and then they did Dance Party of the Century. So
that show was not very good.
But when it's funny when you look at narration, 2022 Bluecoats.
Oh God, that was great.
Had probably twice as much narration as 2023, right? But I look at the 2022 Bluecoats. That show didn't work without narration. It made no sense whatsoever.
Yeah. If you didn't have the narration, you'd be watching it like, what the hell am I watching? And why are they doing what they're doing? And it doesn't make and it made complete sense.
And what is it about Bluecoats and just cool moments? Cool moments for Bluecoats to me goes all the way back to 1987. I know you weren't marching yet, but man, if you could have heard that crowd at Madison, the first year that Bluecoats made finals and they played Autumn Leaves, that crowd went nuts. I mean, we're talking VK levels of nuts. And then it seems that just moving forward every year, there's just been one moment in the Bluecoats show that's just always really cool. Whether it's the boxer or whether it's creep, the Keytar in 2022.
Oh God, it's
every
so great.
Year when we're talking about core identities, one of their things that I think that the Bluecoats do so well is that cool moment.
They do it very well. So what we're going to do next, we're going to shift gears. We're actually going to watch Fellini-esque from beginning to end without any interruptions. All right, so to celebrate our winner, we're going to watch Fellini-esque from beginning to end. Congratulations, sir. Last time I won, this time you won. All right, so here we go.
Before we start, should we throw out our next verses? Should we decide who it'll be? Who came in second in the last poll?
It was 2022 Blue Devils versus Bluecoats.
Let's do it.
All right. Which one do you want? I'll let you pick. You're the winner. You get to pick what you want.
Give me Blue Devils.
You're going to take Blue Devils again.
I'm going to take Blue Devils again.
Okay. All right. So challenge accepted.
Love that show so much.
2022 Blue Devils? Okay.
Yep.
Challenge accepted, my friend. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and watch Fellini-esque. Those are the same chairs they used for that show 1930, I think.
I just think that the pre-show, all the body movement is just so cool.
Performing their 2014 program, Bellini-esque. Drum Corps International is proud to present the Blue Devils!
That sound, man. This is as loud as it'll go, so hopefully it's loud enough. I don't think I can turn it up anymore.
I mean, look at the spread there on the trumpets as well.
Here comes your favorite moment.
The cameraman knew the assignment. I've noticed the lights actually have lights in them as well.
Oh yeah.
And also somebody in the comments section mentioned that the camera that you see the guard guy have actually had a GoPro in it.
Really? That's cool. Look at the bass drum heads. That's so cool.
I just love all the references. But again, when I was talking about uniforms, I mean, you look here, I mean, what they're wearing, it's all performance fabric, but they look like the Blue Devils.
Yeah.
You see this corps from a distance, you know exactly who it is. This is the visual move I was talking about when they go sideways in the film. I just love it so much.
Tubas are running, man.
Oh, yeah. Remember what I mentioned? There's almost always a circle rotating somewhere on the field.
That's kind of a cool visual where they're kind of like bending down, just moving across. I really loved the movable platforms. Because he can create different stages in different places with that. And John Zimney's daughter was in this show, right?
Yeah, she gets a few camera shots as well. It's fun. Yeah. So for those who don't know, John Zimney was the brass caption head at Freelancers, and there's one of the girls in the color guard here we used to know as a baby on the front sidelines of Freelancers.
I know. And what's crazy is did they... Wait, was she born in 94?
No.
93? 92. Wait, no.
92. 92.
Gosh. Ugh, we're old, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that solo.
One of the things I also liked about this particular horn line was the makeup of the low brass. No baritones, they're all euphoniums.
Really? I never noticed that before. I'll have to look.
And I think there's... hear those overtones.
Yeah.
What I was going to say is as well, so I think they're still on cons this year, the brass. I think it was the next year they switched over to System Blue horns. Or it might have actually been 2017, but System Blue when they were making horns, actually had a hybrid baritone. So it was actually a baritone that was between a euphonium and a baritone.
Yeah, and I think they were made by Yamaha, right? Or a subsidiary of Yamaha, if I remember correctly.
No, they were made by a Chinese company.
I thought it was Yamaha, though, because I met one of the guys that sold System Blue, but...
Well, we used Yamaha at Kids Grove before we moved to System Blue, and I can tell you the Yamaha ones were significantly better. Although, to be fair, for us, I don't think it was so much the horns as the fact that we were a British drum corps and the horns were designed to be used in the summer in America.
Oh, true.
They were just impossible to tune. I know when we got our version 2 of the horns, the tubas came with about 6 inches less of tuning pipe.
Really? Because of the tuning?
Yeah, we just couldn't tune them.
Yeah, their drum line is so musical. You just like hear it like in the textures. I don't know how you march euphonium, man, because that thing is so damn heavy. It's so damn heavy.
And to tell you what, the euphoniums now are a lot more ergonomic. Back when I marched, it was a King K70. It was about that long.
This is one of my favorite pieces right here of the show.
Eddie's down at the front there somewhere. There's also somebody in the guard that I marched with at Kids Grove.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And there's also a kid marching there now that I remember the first time he picked up a trumpet with Kids Grove. He's now a second-year Blue Devil, just got contracted for 2024.
That's awesome.
Shout out to Alex Tucker. Yeah, the red-haired girl at the front there, I marched with at Kids Grove.
Yeah, and like you said, they're very prominent.
It's just so good stuff.
And their pit's always so damn good.
Front ensemble, you can't call it a pit anymore.
No way, a front ensemble, excuse me. Pardon me.
Little things as well visually though, but just the stripe on the one side of their trousers, they use that so effectively as well. On the turnaround there.
One of the coolest things they did, man, 95 Carpe Diem, where they do the crescendo marching back into the corner.
So much.
My gosh. If you guys have never seen 95 Blue Devils, you got to watch it. Because they do crescendo marching backfield. And it gets louder. It's like crazy.
Again, circular rotations.
And you can see the plumes really help visual. Now there's nobody has Shaco's hats on or anything.
Funny, back in our day, we used to brag on the Blue Devils for not marching, but I think they're actually, year on year, they always have the best visual style. Now, you can see the GoPro in there.
Yeah, I saw it.
Listen to those telephones.
Really cool. Yeah.
I honestly think that this show is the closest to perfection you'll ever see in a drum corps field.
Ladies and gentlemen, under the direction of David Gibbs.
I don't know. 87 Santa Clara.
It was dirty.
It was dirty, but man, it was so good.
Yeah, I like I said, I do genuinely think that's possibly one of the closest things to perfection you'll ever see in a drum corps field. It's firmly in my top 5 of all time favorite shows. The funny thing is, I don't get the Blue Devils hate. Yeah, okay, I get it. They win all the time, but then you know what? If you want to beat the Blue Devils, get better.
Yeah, but I think a part of the conversation is that the sheets and the way the judging is done now is rewarding.
It's rewarding show design.
Yeah, but it's rewarding show design, but it's removing technical. Because I mean, if you look at some shows that are technically better, right, than Blue Devils, not saying it's like apples and oranges. Do you want more technical or do you want more show? Because for a long time, people were like, we want more show, we want more crowd appeal, we want to be, we want the show to give us this great thing, and then now the sheets are more that way, right? More show, and now people want the technical back. So it's just kind of like
the sheets are very GE heavy. But the thing is, though, is why do the Blue Devils win all the time? And I can tell you very, very simple. It's not a rocket science formula here. Okay, right now you go on to DCI.org or Drum Corps Planet or Drum Corps Coffee Shop or the Reddit or whatever the case may be, wherever you get your Drum Corps news from, and you see so and so is announcing such and such new staff members. How often do you see that from the Blue Devils? Hardly ever.
Yeah.
They're same staff every
like 20
year.
Years,
the same
man.
designers every year. They've got a rock solid organization. They've got they run the business side of the organization like a business. The business people don't get in the way of the arts people. So for those who don't know, the owner of Drum Corps Planet was a longtime board member of the Blue Devils. He'll be the first guy to tell you, I don't know anything about the art side of things. That wasn't my gig. My gig was to support the art side of things. They just run their organization really, really well. They design really smart shows. And to me, it's no wonder people want to march in that environment. I've said it before. I'll say it again. My biggest regret in drum corps is that I didn't age out with the Blue Devils. That is my biggest regret. I wish I had. Even though they came in 5th place that year, I just think it would have been really cool to experience that organization.
Yeah, I really wish I would have marched in 90 when I had the opportunity. Because I probably would have stayed there. Probably would have stayed there through my rest of my years. And aged out in 93 was one of the coolest damn shows ever.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us. Please tell us what you guys thought in the comments down below. Please also make sure that you subscribe, like, and then share this video. That's right.
Comment. Tell us whether we're Okay, your British word of the day, wanker.
Oh, yeah. What was that? Say it one more time.
Wanker.
Wanker.
I'll let you figure out what... So look, our child-friendly rating on this podcast is becoming PG-13, I would suggest. I'll let you figure out what wanking is. You can Google that if you so wish. But, yes, wanker. Used in a sentence. He's a wanker, mate.
British word of the day. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me.
Oh, by the way, real quick, I did sneak another one in earlier, though. I don't know if you caught it.
No, I didn't.
Codswallop.
Codswallop. Oh, I did. Yeah, codswallop. Yeah, look that one up, please. I'm going to have to put the definition here on the screen because I have no clue what that is.
Anyway, thank you very much for joining again. As Justin said, like, subscribe, comment, share. Send us out by carrier pigeon or smoke signal, whatever you need to do.
Yes, and we might possibly have some exciting news to share with you guys, hopefully in the next couple of weeks.
Trying to line up some really cool guests as well.
Yeah.
And I know we promised it. We are in communications with him. We're hoping to get Jason from Spirit of Atlanta back on and get that back on the schedule. I know he is keen to join us, but he's going through a bit of a rough patch at the moment. So wish you all the best, Jason.
Yes, thank you, Jason. And thank you all for watching, and we will see you on the next podcast coming up very, very soon. So please stay tuned, and please stay safe, especially if you're in the Midwest. Don't get snowed in. Be careful out there.
If you know any Packers fans, reach out to them tonight. They're going to need you.
They're going to need your support and help because the Niners are going to crush them.
Better help if you want to support us. We'd love to have you as a sponsor.
That's right. Better help for Packers.
Better help would be useful for all the people who cry Blue Devil haters tears as well. So we can solve a lot of problems if you just joined us as a sponsor.
All right, everyone. Thanks so much. Please be safe. Stay safe out there and march on.